Hello.
My purpose is to protect. Mountains roar, dragons rise! Soaring above the lands, this is permanent!
Feeling spiffy?
Future could come! Fury of innumerable core flames consume me. Sun tear the sky! Quench the flames of blood. Is that all? Branded with strife! Hail the new dawn! Quench the flames of blood. For agony! Sun tear the sky! Quench the flames of blood. Branded with strife! Hail the new dawn! All stars burn to ash.
We can do anything!
Tomorrow!
As we've written!
Future could come!
3 days till war? I mean, I don't think there is gonna be any more. Well, I guess for Firefly. But at this point, it's just obvious Gao Guang is gonna be best in slot.
Tomorrow!
Feeling spiffy? Can you find the answer?
New leaks are so funny, yeah.
Core flames consume me. Sun tear the sky. Quench the flames of blood. Is that all? For agony. Hail the new dawn. Quench the flames of blood.
I'm still taking it with a grain of salt, though.
Branded with strife. Empty shell. Sun tear the sky. Quench the flames of blood.
Hello.
Is that all? For agony. All stars burn to ash. Soaring above the lands, this is permanent! Future will come!
New news, EMC doesn't generate punchline?
Earth shatters,
What?
heaven trembles!
So then the leaker who leaked that shit is already wrong? Unless you mean the leak where they backtrack and say that EMC doesn't generate that much punchline. Or do you mean there's a new leak that says it doesn't generate any at all?
Quench the flames of blood. Is that all? Branded with strife. Sun tear the sky. Quench the flames of blood.
I don't think there is Solus.
Is that all? For agony.
They said that Sparksy is the main punchline generator, not EMC. Oh yeah, that's from the same leaker though. Yeah. It doesn't mean that EMC doesn't generate punchline. It just means they don't generate as much.
Branded with strife.
But yes, they literally had to instantly correct themselves on being wrong for their leak after like 10 minutes. Which is why, even more so, I'm telling people take this shit with a grain of salt.
Find the answer.
Misinterpreted? Yeah, it's all good.
Feeling spiffy?
We can do anything.
Just wait till beta. Beta's not going to change anything though, like once again. At this point, it's basically confirmed they're both going to have Yao going as best in slot. Beta isn't going to like stop people from Doom posting. Let's hear why people are mad at you. Because the leak says that Yao Guang is part of the core for Eva, but not part of the core for Silver Wolf. So, if this is true, then Yao Guang should get replaced late version 4 in a Silver Wolf team at least. So people are saying I like scammed them and shit. But once again, like at least with current information we have, it just doesn't make sense to replace Yao Guang, which is why I find it so weird. The thing that especially doesn't make sense, why is EMC not a punchline generator or like a decent one? Like, what? Like, if you're supposed to replace Yao Guang, right? And your premium version, maybe not you, right? Your premium version is supposed to replace Yao Guang. Why? You barely generate punchline though. Like maybe they make some action advancing elation sustain. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe Bronte, but like I highly doubt it. It said that Yao will be replaced with after sales service. That's not what it said. You can take it one of two ways. The core for Eva is Yao Guang, because it's not necessarily that Yao Guang will be perfect synergy with Yai. In fact, I've already talked about this. We don't know Yai's kit yet, but the only person Yao has perfect synergy with is in a team with Sparksy, right? Any team with Sparksy is Yao perfect synergy. So it's more like Evanesia can't use Sparksy, so she's gonna have to use Yao Guang no matter what in the long run. And then Silverwolf might get after sales service to replace Yao Guang. You can take it either one of two ways. The elation sustain counts as after sales service for both, or the other thing. But once again, it's like Leaker TC genuinely blows, man. Like Leaker TC is the most garbage shit of all fucking time. These people fucking suck. Like these people called Sparksy a main DPS. Like still like 1 or 2 weeks into her beta when I was contradicting said leak, saying she'd be a sub DPS. And then they end up leaking that she's a sub DPS. These people fucking suck at Team TC. Yeah, they contradicted themselves with EMC, and they have a terrible track record of predicting teams. Like, keep in mind, there was also the Cyrene thing. Like, these leakers were saying that Cyrene had a territory, and she wouldn't work with Cassie and Phanon, because obviously they also have a territory. And They were like, oh, no Cassie upgrade. I kept trying to tell people, bro. Like, there's no way they aren't gonna make Cyrene invest in slot with fucking Cassie and shit. And then it ended up happening. Like, they suck. They suck at Team TC. It's actually embarrassing. No, I could be wrong about Yao. Even okay, here's the thing. If you've been consistently watching my streams, you will know I have gone hard on it, saying that it's unlikely, but there is this one possibility I've repeated over and over and over again that could happen. And this one line of thought was they release an EMC replacement so that Evanesia doesn't need to rely on EMC, and then she can use the EMC replacement plus Yao Guang plus Elation Sustain, and then Silverwolf maybe gets an upgrade. But like, it's such a low chance in my head. I need to see it to believe it. You know what I'm saying? I genuinely need to see Yao Guang power creep, because Yao Guang is too synergistic with Sparksy, in my opinion. She is too synergistic with Sparksy. She's incredibly synergistic with Sparksy Eidolons too. So you need to assume, if there is supposed to be a Yao Guang replacement in Silverwolf's team, it would literally have to be Yao Guang but better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would have to be someone who can also generate multiple more AHA instants, who can also buff elation damage, who can also give elation skills, who can give even more punchline. This goes back into like the OC, right, that I was talking about a while back. Like, it doesn't make any sense. She doesn't have advance. The Elation team doesn't care about advance. Are like, Mono Rem is right there. They already proved that nobody gives a shit about advance on the Elation team. If you advance too much, you then won't have any skill points for Sparksy to consume, and you literally accomplish nothing in the long run. You get a little more damage, but that's it. Yeah, exactly. The only thing Elation teams care about is their own speed and out of turn attacks more than their actual in-turn ones. Which is why this entire thing is just so weird to me. It's like, once again, right? If we go over here to Sparksy's Eidolons, right? Because vertical investment is a very good way of seeing how well some characters may synergize. Both of Sparksy's E1 and E2 only works with Yao Guang, right? Like, this shit only works with Yao Guang. It doesn't even work with EMC. If what the leak said is true, and EMC regenerates elation skills and not actual AHA instants, the only person this shit synergizes with is Yao Guang. There's nobody else. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess the only possibility is a massive AoE speed buffer. Assuming they aren't literally just Yao Guang premium with better multipliers and better buffs. You have to be a massive speed buffer to make up for the loss of Yao Guang's AHA instance. But once again, it's so nonsensical. It makes so little sense because of how well Yao Guang already synergizes that it's very difficult for me to imagine it. I'm not saying it's impossible, but this would be one of the most insane, like, support power creeps genuinely in the history of this game. I think the best comparison I can give, imagine Cyrene, right? Current Cyrene getting power crept out of Mono Rem. That's what this feels like to me. This feels like Cyrene getting power crept out of Mono Rem. It's astonishing if it's true. Yeah, we'll have massive counter synergy with Silverwolf. Well, no, because if this was the case, then EMC would be better than Yao Guang for Silverwolf, which these leakers are also saying is not the case, that Yao Guang is the premium option. And once again, if your best in slot is Sparksy, it doesn't matter. There's no so-called counter synergy with Yao Guang. It literally doesn't exist. The only small counter synergy you could maybe say is Certified Banger, because I believe it requires skill points to be consumed to increase damage. That's it. That's all. But Yao Guang is an AoE buffer with tailored elation investment, who in a 3 elation team can be as SP positive as Buff Sparkle. And on top of this, she can also passively generate Punchline. And it's actually a decent amount too. We all said please stop saying Tribby. Oh my god, who's we? I was on the front line of saying Tribby would get power crept out of a Cassie team for fucking forever. I was on the front line of saying that shit. There is nuance. The only people who compare Yao Guang to Tribby are people who can't read. Sorry if that comes off as rude, but it's just the truth. They are nowhere near comparable. Once again, this is more similar to if Cyrene in Mono Rem got power crept over herself. It is a lot more similar to that. Even then, I think even Yao Guang is more specialized for elation than Cyrene was for Mono Rem. Yao is all about aha actions? Yes, which completely synergize with Sparksy, allow you to get significantly more damage off, and it leads to a lot more thrill and SP gen, which Sparksy literally needs to consume for generating Punchline. Which is my point. There isn't a single anti-synergy in the entirety of Yao Guang's kit with Sparksy. And if your goal is simply to generate as much Punchline as possible, with for a Silverwolf, I don't get it. I don't get how you'd power creep a character like this without just being a blatant asshole and making but better Yao Guang. You literally, her kit is perfectly synergistic. The only thing you need to do is make better Yao Guang, better buffing, better multipliers, same gimmicks. That's the only way I can imagine this going. You don't want to advance Silverwolf. Like, maybe you do. It's incredibly unlikely. Even then, advance wouldn't be anywhere near as strong towards building up her Punchline ultimate as Yao Guang's aha instant synergizing with Sparksy. No, exactly. That's my point, Raph. That has been my line of thinking this entire time. Silverwolf, no matter what, seems to want Sparksy. And that's like the dedicated one for the Punchline gen. Because obviously, her ultimate scales off of Punchline generated. But if we're talking about the support who supports Sparksy, who generates said Punchline, it's Yao Guang by a mile. It's not even close. Aha instance will become Silverwolf instance? What the fuck are we talking about? Hey, we'll see you in 2 or 3 days, man. Good night, Ray Leader. You can't replace Aha Instance, cheese. Like, do you even hear yourself? No offense. You can't replace Aha Instance. If you replace Aha Instance, Sparksy can no longer get the thrill and skill point gen to feed Punchline into Silverwolf. This is the entire problem. You cannot get rid of Aha Instant. You cannot replace it. It's too important for Sparksy to not have a buff Sparkle on the team and still be SP positive enough to feed Silverwolf. It's too important. What if Silverwolf has her own Aha Instant? This doesn't change anything. At all. Sure, theoretically she might, but this still doesn't change anything. Yao Guang's Aha Instants are still valuable anyways. Beta's on the 13th? Yeah, that's what Seal League said. Some people are going insane for the most stupid reasons. I mean, yeah, there's already people going crazy on like Twitter and shit from what I've seen. Once again, please take that shit with a grain of salt, bro. Like, it's a completely anonymous leaker who already got something instantly wrong. So please take it with a grain of salt. What's going on Twitter? Well, some people are mad that Yao Guang seems to be more important than they thought. And some people are still talking about using Buff Sparkle over Yao Guang. Holy shit. I can't believe I'm still seeing that. And then also people are really mad currently because the leak also said that Evanescia was a Master Love character, which is basically Firefly. I just keep it at E0 for Yao Guang for now, Sanji, in case I'm wrong. And probably Silverwolf Eidolon investment, if I had to guess. We don't know yet, but that's likely the case. Silverwolf Eidolon investment, then Sparksy Eidolon investment. Something like that. Someone said he folded and pulled Yao Guang because of you. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do, bro. If she truly does end up getting power crept like a year from now, like, personally, I don't care. Because it's like, I'm not going to go an entire year using a scuffed ass Elation team. Sorry. I don't care if they're getting replaced. Like, I'll just take the hit. But also, I mean, I don't know, man. Once again, I've just had this entire fucking conversation. Yao Guang is literally perfectly synergistic with Sparksy to make her feed Punchline into Silverwolf. This shit makes no sense if she gets power crept. I'm sorry. It makes no sense. I don't care. If it ends up happening, we'll see how it goes. I guarantee it's just going to be some fucking bullshit. That's the only way you can replace Yao Guang out of that team, is by doing some bullshit. Yeah, exactly. I had the same thought process. We don't know what Evanesia's kit is yet, but I had the same thought process. Yao Guang, at least with current info, is perfectly synergistic with Sparksy and Silverwolf. Like, if there was anybody where Yao Guang wouldn't be best in slot in for me, it was Evanesia. I thought that was the one she wouldn't be best in slot in for. But, I guess not, man. We'll see how it goes. Thoughts on the EMC instead of Yao Guang? I don't even think the leak said that. The leakers are currently saying Yao Guang is better than EMC. I don't know what speculation you're talking about. People have kind of like already given up on EMC being better than Yao Guang at this point. The leakers keep flip-flopping? Yeah. And this is my point. Originally, it was Sparksy's a main DPS. She isn't a sub DPS. I say she's a sub DPS. 1 or 2 weeks later, they leaked that she's a sub DPS. And then it's the preset team for Silverwolf doesn't have Yao Guang in it, so Yao Guang is not going to be best in slot and EMC will be better. Then it's, oh, Yao Guang actually is better when I've been trying to say this shit for fucking forever. It's like, dude, leaker TC blows. That shit fucking sucks, man. Hello. I miss Anon. I mean, Anon also got this shit wrong, which is a point I brought up in my last video. The person who said Sparksy would be a dedicated main DPS and have no other role, that was Anon. Like, believe it or not, that was Anon. He switched to saying that she was a sub DPS like midway through her beta. Or like near the end of her beta. I think there's a chance we get to sustain that buff speed. Maybe, yeah. I mean, then again, Huohuo has an E1 buff for buffing the entire team's speed. So, maybe Huohuo being best in slot for them on release has more merit to it than I originally thought. In terms of like what they might make the future relation sustain do. And it'll be a speed increase across the team. People just want to fight instead of waiting for 2 days. Yeah. It's also like, let's say I am wrong. And like nearly a year from now, Yao Guang gets replaced. It's like, what do you want me to do, man? Like, genuinely. This is, again, why I recently made a video saying that I would no longer give my extensive thoughts on units anymore. I've gotten so much shit correct in like the last half a year, just in a row, in a row, in a row. And then I get one thing wrong and people instantly try to hound me. Possibly wrong, by the way. Possibly. It's not even confirmed. Possibly wrong. Like, shit is annoying, man. Although, one other thing that I feel like some other people didn't realize, but if that leak is true, they also confirmed Sampo isn't coming out. Because they said the Elation teams would be only women. So there's no Sampo. Which is something, I guess. No Sampo on the Elation planet. What's the possibly wrong? Yao Guang might, according to a new leak, get replaced near the end of the version for Silverwolf. Not for Evanescia, but for Silverwolf. Although, to be honest, I still hold the same opinion I did when it comes to, like, Evanescia Yao Guang. I feel like Yao Guang is only best in slot for Evanescia, because Evanescia isn't getting equal treatment like Silverwolf is. So it's, like, indirect best in slot that isn't necessarily made for her. Kind of like a Hyacine My Day situation, if you catch my drift. What do they mean by upcoming after sales? It just means they're gonna get like new characters for their best in slot team. That's basically all it means. Like sustain, they could both get or both profit off of the new Elation sustain. It just means their team is gonna be upgraded. That's really just generally what it means. Their team is gonna be upgraded. Which is like, that was obvious. I feel like an Elation sustain was always in the cards. I don't know why people were trying to say there might not be an Elation sustain. Fucking crazy. But it's the fact that they said core teams. They added core teams, saying Evanescia Yao Guang, and then a Silverwolf Sparksy, not including Yao Guang. Which is why now a lot of people are hounding me about this shit. When is Silverwolf beta? 2 to 3 days. I already made a community post on it.
Look at today's gift count. So much enthusiasm.
The synergy between Yao and Sparksy makes me think it's fake. Yeah, this is my problem. Once again, I wouldn't have a problem if Yao Guang had multiple anti-synergies in her kit like Tribby. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep in mind, I was always on the front line of saying Tribby ain't gonna stay as a best in slot for Cassie back then. Right? I was one of the few on the front line for this. Because Respen, Cassie already gives it to herself in, what's it called? With her global... Wait, no, not her global passive. Her territory. Vulnerability, Evernight gives this. Vulnerability, Hyacine's Lycone gives this, right? Usually when you look at like main push teams, you want a unique gimmick on every character, and you want as close to perfect synergy as possible. And when you look at Yao Guang, she literally fits this. Like, she has damn near zero anti-synergy, perfect synergy with Sparksy. So, with what we currently have in the game, once again, they could make Yao Guang power creep, but Yao Guang power creep would literally just be Yao Guang, but better buff, better multiplier, better Eidolons. And if they do that, I'm honestly going to be sick to my stomach. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. If beta is truly in 2 or 3 days, maybe this will shine some light on maybe Silverwolf has anti-synergy with Yao Guang in some way. No clue. Bro, I promise you guys, I have never been this lost, trying to think of me being wrong on a character. I've never been this lost. Like, how? How do you replace Yao Guang? It's so crazy to me. Like, I promise, this has nothing to do with agenda. I don't like Yao Guang. I've said this so many times at this point. Like, I care about Yao Guang because she supports some of my favorite characters in the game. Like Evanescia, Silverwolf, and Sparksy, of course. But I don't have an agenda to push of like, pull Yao Guang. I absolutely love Yao Guang. Like, no, her kit is just that good. It's that good. To the point where I've had to glaze it all this time. The leaker doesn't have a track record. I don't know who the leaker is. Once again, for like the 5th time, this leak should be taken with a massive ass grain of salt. One, leaker TC is garbage in general. But two, this leaker didn't even say their name. This leaker is fully anonymous. Keep in mind, we've only gotten leaks of this caliber from Anon Leaks for like the last year, right? When you have this many leaks talking about team synergies, future teammate upgrades, and shit like that, it has only been Anon Leaks who's been uploading that this entire time. This person isn't even Anon Leaks, and then the second Anon Leaks leaves, we get someone who makes an insane leak like this. It's like, I don't know how much to trust it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. They had to instantly correct the EMC kit. They said EMC could generate a large amount of punchline, which made me think, oh, that makes sense, right? You're trying to make them fit into a Silverwolf team. But then they contradict themselves after literally a few minutes and say, oh, actually, EMC isn't a large punchline generator. So, like, what? You know what I'm saying? See you later. The sus part is a leaker. The sus part is some of the leaks in general too. It's not just a leaker though. Like for example, I took issue with Anon saying Sparksy would be a main DPS. Like you can still be an incredibly reliable leaker, and I'm still gonna judge you if something looks a little suspicious. Yeah, I don't know, man. Dude, it's like there's nothing. The only anti-synergy in the entirety of Yao Guang's kit is this right here. This is the only one. Because you need to consume well no. Oh no, no, this isn't even an anti-synergy. This also works with Silverwolf, but you don't get the additional elation damage thing. Oh, okay. So there is slight anti-synergy right here. And this is the only one. Because she can't get one additional instance of elation damage. This is assuming she doesn't consume skill points, by the way. If Silverwolf does consume skill points, then never mind. It's literally perfectly synergistic. But I'm assuming Silverwolf is going to be SP neutral or positive so that Sparksy can, feed. So with that being the case, yeah. Can't nitpick anything about Yao. Yeah, no, her kit is insanely synergistic. I don't know. Once again, like imagining Yao Guang getting power crept is the exact same as imagining Cyrene getting power crept out of, like, let's say an Anoxa team with Saridra or Monorem or Evernight Hypercarry. It's very difficult for me to imagine it, at least with what we currently have. There isn't even an anti-synergy in the Eidolons either. No, yeah, exactly, Joe Rez. I agree. If literally, if they didn't change Yao Guang's kit at all, and then Yao Guang just released in like 4.6, people would be doing the opposite of what they're currently doing, and they'd be saying Yao Guang is like the second coming of Jesus for relation. Because once again, 99% of Yao Guang doomers do not read the kit, do not understand the kit, do not understand how it synergizes with Sparksy. They just doom. Because Cassie got new teammates, so that means this character gets new teammates. That's just how it goes. Yeah. How many pulls you got? Like 20? I'm not trying to farm pulls on this account. You think going for a Fuwa team will be worth it? Yeah. It's gonna be strong. Sure, I can go to Plan Arcadia. Wait, whoops. Leaker said to keep low expectations on Eva. I mean, that should be obvious. I don't know why people think Eva is getting... Like, for example, someone immediately tried to comment on one of my things of like, oh, didn't you say Evanescia wouldn't get dedicated teammates? And it's like, yeah, she won't. What do you want me to say? At most, at max, she'll get one dedicated teammate. One. And this is a theoretical EMC upgrade. And that's literally it. That's the only theoretical dedicated support she could possibly get. She isn't getting her own dedicated sustain. She isn't getting something to replace Yao Guang, probably. Like, it's probably just not happening. So best case scenario, she gets one quote-unquote dedicated support, which is an EMC upgrade. Even though Yao Guang is already an EM. Okay, a Yao Guang upgrade is more what I should say. Not even an EMC upgrade. EMC upgrade is Yao Guang. Then Yao Guang upgrade is... Yeah. Like, shit, man. Oh my god.
Get him, Cell. Everybody keep going. Thank you so much for your help this time. What's the game of Cosmicron Collect?
Dot is not gonna get a dedicated sustain. It will just be Nova Flare Wohua. People just need to give it up. The only reason Wohua isn't best in slot for Dot currently isn't even of her buffs. It's just her sustain is old and she eats skill points. If they fix her sustain capabilities and make her not consume skill points as often, she'd already automatically be best in slot for Dot. Not even including if you buffed her attack buff or her energy regen buff. Which is probably going to happen. She also has the best early Eidolon investment for Dot because it's a speed buff. It's just kind of too perfect. What do you think Himiko's archetype is going to be? I don't know. My best bet has been Break for a while at this point.
Thank you so much for your help. You want to keep going? Get him, Phil. Fly out all.
There's an unreliable leak saying she's Break. Yeah, but it's unreliable, so it's like, who cares? But yeah, that's just my best guess. It perfectly lines up with a Dahlia rerun. And then you also finally sell a new Break DPS for Dahlia that isn't just Firefly. You can make an actual Break sustain that isn't really mid like Ling Sha. And you can make a Fugue replacement, because to be honest, it's way too easy to replace Fugue. The only character that would be like technical mainstay that doesn't get replaced is Dahlia. Why'd they do FF Nova then? For people who own Firefly? Like, what does her getting Nova flared have to do with anything? Like, they Nova flared old HP scalers and still sold new HP scalers. Doesn't mean shit.
Reach out to me for Perlux Corp internal Have you heard?
Break DPS after a Firefly Nova is sus? I don't know how, but sure, man. Maybe. There's nothing sus really about it. Listen, I'm literally saying this as someone who has E2 Firefly on an account. I just don't think it makes sense for them to not sell a new DPS for Dahlia. It's just stupid. Firefly is already one of, if not the highest owned character DPS in the entirety of the game. And she's like the highest owned with like max Eidolons. You'd run Break Sustainless anyways. Please stop saying this. Please. Stop lying to ourselves, okay? Let's get fucking real. You cannot run Break Sustainless currently unless you have disgusting levels of investment and speed tuning. And against some enemy matchups, it can sometimes just be straight up impossible. Let's not lie to ourselves. Break Sustainless is not as easy as Feign on Sustainless. Break needs its own sustain. I've been running her sustainless at 6 cost every MLC. I doubt that. 6 cost since Dahlia, sure. But 6 cost every MLC? Probably not. Because I'm pretty sure there were some MOCs pre-Dahlia where she needed like 8 or 9 cost to do sustainless. Like the average E0 Firefly experience, especially if you kick out Ruan Mei in sustainless, is fucking terrible. It's actual garbage. Like I remember watching Pokey, because Pokey also got the wrong idea after not playing Firefly for a long time. He played an average Firefly at E0 and it just died when he tried to run sustainless. It straight up just died every time and he gave up and ran sustain. I have E2 6 cost team. Well, yeah, there you go. E2 6 cost team is like E2 S1 Faye with E1 Saridra, which makes it a lot easier for him to run sustainless as well. Like, but for the average player, no, they seriously need to make a new sustain for break. I mean, I don't care, home press. I've already talked about this before. Even in the unlikely world where Yao Guang does actually get power crept out of a Silverwolf team, personally, I don't give a shit. Okay? I pulled E1 S1 Guang on my main account in preparation for Silverwolf, and I still don't care if she gets power crept. You know why? Because I don't want to wait a fucking year before I pull a best in slot support, right? Here's the thing. Even if Yao Guang gets power crept, realistically, is replacing Yao Guang going to be the next best investment option as compared to getting Eidolons on Sparksy, as compared to getting Eidolons on Silverwolf, as compared to getting Eidolons on the Elation Sustain? Probably fucking not. Okay? I don't know why people don't consider this. I can just get Eidolons everywhere fucking else, and it's probably a better vertical investment than getting rid of Yao Guang. Is it the same situation as Tribi with Cyrene? Yes, basically. Like, for example, a lot of people aren't aware of this, right? When it comes to Cyrene, yes, she's best in slot with Mono Rem. This is uncontested. If you're going for the premium team, Cyrene's the best option. But you can get E1 Evernight, and using E1 Evernight plus Cassie with like RMC or Tribi can be stronger than having picked up Cyrene. And then you have E2 Cassie, and then you have E1 Hyacine, and then you have S1 Hyacine, and then you have E2 Evernight, right? Like, there is multiple levels of vertical investment you need to go through before you really start considering getting Cyrene for the team. The same thing would apply here, right? Even if there's a theoretical Yao Guang replacement, it'll probably be better to get high Eidolon investment on Silverwolf, Sparksy, and the Sustain as compared to trying to immediately replace Yao Guang.
Thank you so much for your help this time.
Like, if I remember correctly, I think the best clears against current AA on Mono Rem is with RMC instead of Cyrene. Which doesn't mean Cyrene isn't best in slot. It just means that you can use the alternative.
Have you heard?
Is Evanesia gonna be the Agleo of Elation? Probably. I mean, it's kind of the same. She is gonna get a quote-unquote best in slot, but it's probably gonna be a best in slot for Silverwolf too, so it's like... I mean, well, once again, this goes back to what I said yesterday. Evanesia's team is going to be mainly just leeching off of Silverwolf supports, and at max, she may get one dedicated support. At max. And that's it. Yeah. Eva might be best for sustainless clears. No, it's probably the opposite. Because Silverwolf can run sustainless more easily. Because she has also Sparksy. So you can do Silverwolf, Sparksy, Yao Guang, and then EMC. Full Elation team. But because because Evanesia can't use Sparksy, she can only currently use EMC and Yao Guang as Elation supports. So her sustainless slot is not going to be as beneficial as probably it is for sustainless Silverwolf.
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please continue.
You can run Silverwolf Eva. I mean, you can, but I probably wouldn't recommend it. I doubt that's going to be a good sustainless team. I don't know.
Have you heard? Reach out to me for Perlux support.
Get upset whenever I want to keep going. Thank you so much for your help this time. Please continue.
I mean, it's as simple as if Evanesia consumes skill points, you're taking away from punchline generation of Sparksy, leading to less Silverwolf ultimates. That alone would probably hit the team's damage by a lot. And then you're also using Eva instead of a buffer and EMC, who will likely be significantly better at buffing Silverwolf's damage. So it would be a pretty big loss as compared to just using EMC or something.
Reach out to me for Perlux support internal effort.
Like, I'm not saying it couldn't clear, but it's questionable.
Thank you so much for your help this time.
Elation buffs from Yao and Sparksy are team wide though? No, yes. But Silverwolf will, like, dude. If Evanesia consumes skill points, you cannot get as much punchline generation for Silverwolf. And EMC buffing Silverwolf more would probably end up being better than using Evanesia on the same team. Like, once again, I'm not saying you can't use it, but it is definitely going to be worse as compared to just using EMC in that same slot. Because EMC can gen elation skills, is probably going to be SP positive, has some type of punchline gen, and is buffing.
Have you heard?
No, yeah, Evanesia is more similar to a My Day situation. I've talked about this before. My Day and Cassie were back-to-back banners. They were both HP scaling DPSs, and people assumed that My Day would be able to benefit from Cassie's teammates as much as Cassie did. But that ended up aging fucking terribly. There's no other way to put it. Hyacine synergy with My Day was just so fucking scuffed.
Have you heard? Reach out to me for Perlux Corp.
There's absolutely no difference, Drorez. I don't understand why people bring this up. Once again, if you understand how these characters' kits work, Cassie being Remembrance has fuck all to do with My Day not benefiting from Hyacine. Hyacine doesn't have Remembrance specific buffing like Evernight does. That doesn't exist. The reason Hyacine sucks for My Day is because they tailored Hyacine to do a lot of healing across multiple teammates instead of one, which is literally the opposite of what My Day wanted, which got him shafted. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're different paths.
Reach out to me for Perlux Corp internal application.
Yeah, like for example, My Day, keep in mind, has the least synergy of every HP scaler in the game with Hyacine. Less synergy than even Blade Nova and Jingliu Nova. Because at least they could use Hyacine's Light Cone to a really good extent. My Day couldn't even take advantage of the HP burn from Hyacine's Light Cone either. Like, there's literally nothing. Also, the exact same thing applies to Aggie. Like, you can say, oh, it's about the path. Did Aggie get Evernight? Did Aggie get Hyacine? Not really, man. She didn't get them either. I saw a video that Olaf Ashvale's debuffs work inside Phanon ult. Yeah, I already knew that. It's pretty cool. But yeah, it's similar to a Cypher situation. Although, Ashvale is probably more synergistic than a Cypher is, and he has better E1S1 investment than Cypher does for amping his damage. So there's also that.
Reach out to me for Perlux Corp.
Because at E1S1, it's... Because keep in mind, right? In Phanon's Ceredra Cyrene team, there's no vulnerability debuffer, right? And he still has a good amount of defense shred, but it's not the best. So, with... Let's say theoretically, right? You have an E1 Ceredra on you with your Fae and Cyrene, and then you have E1S1 Ashvale. You're getting, on double skills, like 86% defense shred. With E1S1, you're getting up to 56% vulnerability. 40 without them being 50% or lower. Like, it's pretty strong. Yeah.
Reach out to me for Perlux Corp.
Once again, Phanon is like the most easily buffed Chrysos air DPS possible. The most easily buffed. It's actually kind of funny. He can get buffed by anybody. Oh wait, Phanon's counter gets the 120 crit damage? That I didn't know of. Oh no, you're saying hypothetically. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because bait is automatically on field. I believe Cypher's Lycone requires her to actually attack enemies. So yeah. 40% defense down. A little general crit damage. Not much, but I mean it's something. 20 to 36% vulnerability on E1. 20% vulnerability on Lycone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. It works, man. It works. Mm.
Reach out to me for Perlux Corp Turtle Up.
If you want to keep going. Thank you so much for your help this time.
Imagine we get someone who can enter Phaenon's domain. I don't know if they'll ever do that. I feel like Departed State is probably the nichest thing this game has ever done. I don't think they'll ever make a support specifically for Departed State. I could be wrong though. It's just very unlikely.
Have you heard? Reach out to me for Perlux Corp Turtle Up.
Counter is considered a follow-up attack. Oh, then yeah, I guess it does get the crit damage. So, Phaenon's counters gets 120% more crit damage with Ash Veil. Pretty cool. I mean, you wouldn't use Ash Veil in a Phaenon team anyways. Like, you can, and it works. But, like, in most case scenarios, you'd use Buff Sparkle in the place of Ash Veil, and it'd probably be significantly better.
Get upset whenever I want to keep going. Thank you so much for your help this time. Please continue this.
Quantum. I mean, to be honest, the easiest way to buff Phaenon without making a Departed State specific character, and this is where they probably went wrong with Seri. You know the way that Dan Heng's dragon and its damage scales off of the multipliers and self buffs of the main DPS? They literally all they could have done was make additional damage, make a support that gives additional damage to Phaenon, scaling off of the damage his attacks do by a certain percentage, right? Like, Saridra has multiple self-buffing traces, yet she does 0 damage for him. Her additional damage is basically non-existent until E6. So the easiest way you can make a best-in-slot support for Phaenon that isn't like Departed State related, just increase the amount of additional damage they are able to provide. It's that easy.
Reach out to me for Perlux Corp Turtle Up.
Like, for example, a lot of people don't know this, but Ting Yun's additional damage does more than Saridra's. Yeah. Like, you could tell they were just trying to waste traces on Ceredra to not buff Phanon further. Because once again, I always go back to this, and I will always glaze it. He is the most easily buffable character of the entirety of the heirs. If you make like one more buff Sparkle situation, his new best in slot sustain team probably doesn't even have Ceres Irene. As crazy as that might be to say, it probably wouldn't anymore if you make like one more buff Sparkle. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Not 12 plus investment. Who gives a fuck about 12 plus investment? That's the amount of limited 5 stars someone can maybe get after an entire year.
Get upset whenever you want to keep going. Thank you so much for your help this time. Please.
That's what I did. Understandable. Oh yeah, if they Nova flared Sunday, yeah, the same thing I'm talking about right now would happen. But yeah, I have talked about it, Cheese. Um, I came to the realization of how strong E2 Cyrene was a while back. Because, like, if in the future Ceredra does get power crept, even paired with Cyrene, because of E2 Cyrene now allowing you to get the ult easily, even without an old Chrysos air team, you can just put in that new support and it works, which is really cool.
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please.
It is kind of annoying, though, that it's locked behind E2. It really does feel like what Cyrene gives to, like, a Noxa, what she gives to Evernight, what she gives to Mono Rem, in order for Phanon to get it, he needs to get Cyrene E2. Is E2 Cyrene a general support? Yeah, kinda. Yeah. Her buffing is just so good at that point. Because she's now giving like 48% true damage. And she's giving like damage bonus and all this other shit. And speed buff with her planar ornament. But I wouldn't say I'd recommend getting her for that reason at all. It's mainly Phanon who benefits so much from E2 Cyrene. He benefits the most as compared to anyone else by a good amount.
Reach out to me for Perlux support and internal applications.
Is this your main account? No.
Thank you so much.
Phanon in my day? Phanon in my day milk. My day team Cyrene gets ult too slow. Why? Because he uses Tribby? Makes sense. There isn't an action advancer on the team. Is E2 Sparksy good?
Have you heard?
With Yao Guang, it's pretty good. Without Yao Guang, it's kind of cheeks. I don't know. I don't like. I talked about this the other day. I don't like Sparksy's Eidolons. I understand why they did it for the Yao Guang Sparksy team with Silverwolf and her being a sub DPS. But man, I hate Eidolons that make a character more reliant on having a teammate personally. But yeah, if you got Yao Guang, I'd say go for it. 15% res pen is still good. I mean, I didn't say it wasn't, but it's just not worth pulling for, bro.
Reach out to me for Perlux.
At least without Yao Guang.
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please continue.
I'll be right back in like 2 minutes.
Look at today's gift count. So much enthusiasm. Look at today's gift count. So much enthusiasm.
I never fold. I also never goon. I simply gab.
Have you heard? Reach out to me for Perlux Corp internal update.
Pretty sure she's just imaginary.
Thank you so much for your help this time.
I think this capybara smells of poop, and he'll never read this. Banned. What's the deal with the 3 men in one team? I don't know. I find it weird. Like, I don't think they'd make Avin SP a sustain again, no? So then Blade's a support?
Thank you so
I
much for your
mean,
help this time. Please continue to support my work in the future.
I guess? It's so hard for me to imagine Blade as a support, I'm not gonna lie. It's really hard for me to imagine it. Make it 4 halves though.
Reach out to me for Perlux support.
Evil Gabimaru be like Yao Guang will work with only Evanescia and Sparkle is evil. Sparkle is evil.
So much for your help this time. Please continue to support.
Sustain Blade. But then who's supposed to be a follow-up support? If it's supposed to be an all-male team, then you can't use Robin. So it's like... Also, it'd be weird if they released... Because they usually only do 2 new limited sustains. Every single version. They usually only do 2.
Reach out to me for
So if they also made a follow-up sustain, it would have to be 3. And once again, like the more... Here's the problem, right? The more dedicated teammates you add to the non-elation teams, the more unlikely it becomes that we are actually going to get elation support replacements. Which is why like these leagues contradict themselves sometimes, right? Because Avin, Blade... Okay, so from 4.3 to 4.8, let's say, right? There's like 10 more limited characters. You'd have Avin, Blade, theoretical new follow-up sustain. Himiko. Himiko's a main push, by the way. She's going to get full best in slot team. So you have Himiko. You have the rest of her best in slot team. And this now adds up to 7, right? So 7 out of 10 character slots are taken. And there's still probably going to be like 1 or 2 other characters we aren't aware of who aren't even elation. So that's why I'm assuming there isn't a dedicated sustain for follow-up.
you heard? Reach out to me for Perlux support with turn 11.
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please continue to support.
No, they didn't say Himiko SP would use existing characters. They just said it's a possibility, but it's unlikely anyways. Main pushes almost never use existing characters. Like, both Phanon and as well as Cassie, their teams are all new characters from said patch. Elation team is basically now confirmed to be the same thing. So why would Himiko get the short end of the stick? It doesn't really make sense personally. Unless they Nova Flare an old character to be some part of Himiko's team. Or Himiko is Break and she does use Dahlia, like I've had a theory for a while now. So they only need to make 2 other best in slots, which is the sustain and a fugue replacement. Probably Pisces.
Have you heard? Reach out to me for Perlux support with
Your theory is Himiko will be Break? That's been my theory for a while now, yeah. It's the most likely case. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen though. I'm not like confident on this one at all. Can Firefly's Nova Flare turn into a sub DPS for Himiko? Probably not. Doesn't really make sense. You'd probably have to nerf Firefly's multipliers if anything, if she were a sub DPS. And she doesn't give anything sub DPS like. It just doesn't make sense at all. She just gets shafted if Himiko's break. Still better off than the other break DPSs, but
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please
at this point I'm thinking my Anoxa account might go for Asheville or Himiko as the second team, like the follow-up team. Now that I think about it, my free-to-play account is the one that has the most like male DPS teams. Kinda sad. But yeah, I might just run like triple male DPS teams on my free-to-play account. Free-to-play with supply pass? What do you mean? My free-to-play account doesn't have supply pass. What?
There, 3 keys to winning at Celestial Jade.
Wrong account? Yeah. Just read it, tactician. You can't be serious. You can just read it.
Business isn't going well at all.
I like them.
Gabby asked a gotcha player to read. Yeah, it's like fully there. In like big ass letters.
Look at today's gift count.
Yeah. There's a few streams in beta.
supplies on the streets recently. Watch yourself out there.
Look at today's gift count. So much enthusiasm.
Playing Arcadia Story is only going to be 4 patches. Yeah, Astropolis is the second half. Astropolis is probably going to have like Robin SP, Avid SP, maybe Blade? I don't know. Blade might be 4.3. But yeah, characters like that. Like, I don't know anymore, man. I don't know. I don't know. I just made a community post about it. The leaker is literally completely anonymous. And they instantly got something wrong and had to correct themselves. No, I know it isn't a different story. It's just a different planet. Phanon is not a dog shit DPS. I think currently he's like top 3 or top 2 from Ampho. I mean, yeah, a lot of people are gonna be happy about getting an all-male team for once, I guess. People are always complaining. There's always the extremists on either side of like, oh, I don't want a man on my mono-woman waifu team. And then the other side that's like, oh, I don't want woman on my husbando team. So now there's like nothing to fight over. They got separate mono-gender teams. I mean, you guys should probably remember that Silverwolf was supposed to be the mid one, and Evanesia was supposed to be the main push one. Like, they probably already pre-commissioned all this art and shit like a long ass time ago. Yeah, I remember that, Moonlight. I mean, to be fair, pre-Cyrene, Hyacine was genuinely buns. Like, they actually had a point. You could, no joke, Luocha was competitive with Hyacine for my day, pre-Cyrene. Hyacine was that buns with my day. But after Cyrene, it changed.
Do you think we're stupid?
On everyone's soul, Silverwolf gonna be dog shit? I highly doubt that. Do you have an EU account? I have one that I almost never log into. It's my E2 Phenom My Day account, but I don't really log into it anymore at all. Rip, yeah.
Lots of eyes on the street.
Yeah, I don't know why people are losing it when it comes to the drip. Because it's like, I don't know. This is kind of like a Firefly situation, right? Like, in the first place, you're going to see Firefly in the fucking suit 99% of the time in her gameplay. Like, you don't even really care about what the base character looks like in the first place. You know? Like, transformation characters. I don't understand why people take the drip so seriously. Yeah. At least Jiaoqiu is hot. But yeah, I stopped playing on it. It was kind of a waste. It was your first fold? No, I've never folded before. Jiaoqiu, yeah. I still think My Day is way better than like everybody else by a mile. But there's also other characters I like as well. Jiaoqiu, you just don't get it, man. You just don't get it.
Lots of eyes on the street.
This is why Gabby is peak. Thank you, thank you. Man looks like an NPC. Yeah, but on his ult animation, he looks sick as fuck. You say Jiaoqiu, but not Boot Hill? I mean, it's like... I don't know if Boot Hill fits in like a top 5 for me or something. Is my top 5 is probably like... My Day, Phenon. Eh. My Day, Phenon, Anaxa, Jing Yuan, and I don't know who else. Maybe like Blade or something. Maybe Boot Hill. Maybe he does fit in the 5th. I don't know. But yeah, you also have Jiaoqiu, yeah. Where's Jiaoqiu? Right here. Like, yeah, Jiaoqiu's also good. And then when he opens his eyes and his ult, it's when it's like especially cool.
Lots of eyes on the street.
Phaedon, Avin, Sampo, Anoxa, and Don Hung. Why do people like Sampo? I don't get it, man. Jiaoqiu over Boot Hill. Boot Hill doesn't have fluffy ears.
Lots of eyes on the streets recently. Watch yourself out there.
Liking Sambo is more understandable than liking Avin? I don't know about that one. I think we can all agree My Day's top one though, right? Everybody can agree. That's for sure, right? Faye top one? Nah, My Day top one, I'm not gonna lie. My Day is shit. So disappointing, man. Come back and switch scenery? I mean, why not? We're over here at Gooning.
Look at today's gift count.
Lots of eyes on the streets.
Is anybody gonna address talking about Misha? No. Because it's based.
Lots of eyes on the streets.
Okay, Johan, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, that's literally just peace. Why are we talking about Mem, man?
Lots of eyes on the streets recently.
Actually, can Mem teleport? Low key, like, having Mem in real life, can Mem teleport or... Wait, no, can you teleport with Mem? I don't think so. Like, that would be cool.
Lots of eyes on the streets recently.
She can stop time. Yeah, I don't care about stop time. Teleporting is cooler. Lucha underrated? I mean, yeah, there's a lot of dudes, but like, I do feel like My Day is just the best by a mile. Like, Phaenon is the second closest for me, but I do feel like My Day is just at the top by a lot. Gallagher's OG. Wouldn't that be to a lot of people just Blade? Okay, chillax chat. Herta's mirror though. Do a sneaky 10 pull for E2 Sparksy right now? I can't. I'm already at soft pity. So if I do a 10 pull, I'm gonna get the character. And I'm saving it for Ashvale right now. I'm gonna get the Ashvale team with, what's it called? Avon and Blade. Ashvale, you're insane? Why am I insane? What? He's still gonna age way better than the older characters. Do one pull? No! I'm at way too high a pity on this account. Did I hear Avon SP? I mean, if what that new leak said is true, yeah. It said all the upcoming males are gonna be on the same team. So it'd be Ashvale, Avon, and Blade. And by Maru we believe. I am not gay. I simply sometimes feel attraction to male characters. Because they're definitely not the same thing. So, I don't know about that one. Ash with Tribby and Jade on PF was reaching 40k. Oh, really? That's pretty cool. I'm not gay, but I feel attraction to guys. Exactly. But it's Hoyo characters, so it's not the same, right? Definitely not the same, right?
Do you think we're stupid? To everyone watching this stream.
I mean, that's normal, tactician. We are here for you. What? You don't like any guy from Wuwa? No, not as much from Wuwa, to be honest. Maybe Brant? I like Brant, but I've never really thought of it in that way. It's really only been the HSR characters for the most part. Kyuan, I've never seen Kyuan that way either, though. Like, it's always just been like, oh, this guy is like aura farming, and he's cool as shit. I don't know. I really like a lot of the Hoyo characters, though. Especially Maide. Like, the only time I've ever questioned myself was because of him. This was like the only one. Maide can make anyone fold. Exactly. Maide's just a goat. Genshin? I do like a lot of the Genshin characters. But it isn't the same as like for the HSR ones. Like in Genshin, it's more so the characters you can kind of put in like a femboy category for the most part. Like Skara and Venti and Linne and shit. Or Lenny, however you say his name. Yeah. I guess it just depends on the art style at the end of the day. What about Nouvelette Zhongli? I don't really feel anything. Yeah, this is exactly why I'm pivoting my content to like being less opinionated on what I think is gonna happen. Because once again, like you have what just happened right now, of like I'm right again and again and again and again. A slight possibility of me being wrong shows up, and people end up being really annoying about it. So from now on, it's just gonna be me saying the kits and some short thoughts, and that's it. I hope you're giving your opinion. I mean, I said I may do it still like decently consistently on streams. It's just not going to be on videos or community posts as much anymore. Because, like, videos, a lot more people see, and it just ends up being really annoying. Streams is like a lot more of like people who already consistently watch me, and so they're less likely to be as annoying. Oh, really, Grace? Yeah, exactly. I've been on a pretty good streak with like things I've been able to predict off of like base character kits and shit. But I mean, if Yao Guang does end up getting replaced in a Silver Wolf team down the line, I mean, we're not gonna find out in the first place for like over half a year, by the way. So like, we're not gonna find out for over half a year probably, if Yao Guang gets replaced. So we'll see how it goes. It'll probably end up with people on my channel reminding me of everything, and then it goes that way.
Supplies on the street.
If Yao does get replaced, you remember your bet. You know, the funny part about this is I actually cheated with my bet, and it seems like some of you guys don't remember it, but I put Yao Guang will be best in slot for Silver Wolf on release. And if I'm wrong, I'd give 50 bucks. So in the end, I'm still right, even if she gets replaced later on. And I saved myself 50. Can we get Gabby in a maid outfit? No. I'm not a femboy. Unless it's my day. But my day doesn't exist, so. Yeah, I was talking about this earlier, Yumi. I find it hard to believe that Yao Guang would get replaced. But even if she does, it's like there's probably multiple levels of investment you'd have to go through on Silverwolf's team before I imagine it'd be better to replace Yao Guang with like theoretical new best in slot. Like E2 Sylvie, Sparksy Eidolons, Light Cones on Sparksy, and as well as Silverwolf, Sustain, stuff like that. Gabby bottom for my day confirmed. Yep. I mean, it's not really like a confirmed thing. I've always said it.
Do you think we're stupid?
This is how I found out. Yeah. I've been open about like how much I like my day since he released. When was that? 3.1? So nearly a year at this point.
Supplies on the street.
You can have my day so I can have Fane on? What if I want both? Oh my goodness. Surely this means you're bi? I mean, probably. I don't know how the specifics works. I'm not gonna overthink it. I find fucking a ton of HSR dudes hot, so maybe.
Do you think we're stupid? I can't.
How long is this stream going? I mean, I don't really have anything to do today. I usually have something to do, and I have to go out, but like today there's literally nothing, so I'm kind of just chilling here. Greed they talk about in the Bible? Nah, it's understandable. Can't you talk while progressing the story? What story? I've already done all the story on this account. If you mean this is like a side world quest that is now useless to me. Like, I don't want to do it because I already hit TL60 on this account. Can your E6 and Nox account clear AA? No. It only has 2 DPSs. Jades? I don't care about the Jades. Fuck the Jades. What do you think about Sagrika? Don't care. Whale can swipe. 4.1 should have a good amount of pulls. No. Because it's only 4 weeks. It'll probably have like 80 to 90 because it's a Divergent Universe reset. I love you, Gabby. You're the best HSR YouTuber. Please continue to make peak content. I appreciate it. Though I am mostly a slop tuber who doesn't edit or put anything interesting. And I'm just constantly speaking my opinion. But I still appreciate it. Which Elation team are you pulling? Both. Just on different accounts. Paid chatter? Yep. Sneaky $5. Changes everything. Be right back. Gonna Guna my day.
Look at today's gift count. So much enthusiasm.
Alright, I'm back. Thank you. Drinking from my day. Don't leak, don't leak. Nah, but by the way, like, I've been getting some comments on it, so I thought I'd talk about it here. The reason you guys may hear me in my videos, like, quite often I stop to, like, swallow or lick my lips or something. I have an incredibly dry mouth. Like, it dries up basically instantly, so I have to constantly do that. Lately, I've been getting comments of people saying, like, oh, licks his lips, licks his lips. And they're saying it's, like, weird, but, like, I can't stop it. My mouth gets dry so fast, man. So that's why I'm also drinking a shit ton of water right now. It's like, if I don't do this, it just fucks me up while I'm talking. The concept of Misha being a hunk. Misha's still good, though. You use chapstick? No. It's not just my lips, by the way. It's like my throat and like my mouth as well. Mouth breather problems? I don't breathe through my mouth though. I breathe through my nose. My day did side effect. I mean, I'll take it. Misha ain't femboy enough. Why can't they just go Olin Stolfo? Because HSR just hates it. They literally don't care. They haven't bothered at all. They don't release any like Shotas either. Even though Genshin's released a ton of them. HSR is like the mainly hunk dudes is just what they sell. Hopefully they'll release Stefan. I doubt it, man. I really doubt it. I get the feeling Stefan will be playable. I don't think Opal will be playable either, though. Like, this is kind of my point. Playability is an entirely different thing. Meanwhile, Genshin has like a ton of them.
Look at today's gift count.
Please at least make Stefan a 4-star. 4-star in HSR is a little questionable. There's a slightly higher male ratio in HSR. Yes, but HSR makes like all their males basically hugs. Or like fully grown. It's just normal. But and like let me see. Let me check Genshin. and how many Shotos they have. Genshin male characters. So they have Bennett, they have Chong Yun, they have Dahlia, they have Durin, they have, I think, Freminette, Gaming, maybe? I don't remember if that one is. Goro, Hazo, possibly Luga. I don't know who that is. Linny, I know. Razor, Venti, Jingshou, and, I mean, Wanderer's up to the person, I guess. So yeah, there's that many in Genshin, and HSR doesn't have anywhere near the same amount. I'm gonna go to sleep. Good night. Genshin has more characters. I mean, I know they have more characters, but my point is, even if you include that into the fact that, like, what, Genshin is like 2.5 years older, their ratio is still way larger for Shotas as compared to HSR. Like, how much does HSR even have? HSR has Misha. Is Arlon a girl or a dude? I don't remember. I'm gonna assume Arlon's a dude. So there's 2. And 3 with Yang Qing. So there's 3 total in the entirety of HSR. And I just named like 10 plus in Genshin. Keep in mind, in HSR, it isn't a single limited character, too. There's actually multiple limited Genshin characters who are Shotas. If you only include 1.x, they still have more, yeah. HSR is just scared of it, I guess. Unless they make Stefan the first one. Stefan is kind of the only chance of, like, getting a limited Shota in this game, in my opinion. If not, just call it a day, man. Call it a day. Move on. I can't wait to get Ashvale so I can finally farm the Jades from the endgame. Kid Adventurine 5-star? I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Unless you mean Avon being limited because they showed. But I don't think so. They'd give Stefan for free? Eh. What's your Ash team? It'll be with RMC. The Ash team will be with RMC, Pela, and Donhung. Donhung PT. And then the Sparksy team is, well, what you see right there, but with Gallagher instead. Oh, really, Matos? That's cool. But yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, HSR doesn't really play into lolly characters either. So it's not like just a Shota thing. Although Shota is definitely more, shafted. But the only limited one is Tribi, I think. I think there's significantly more in Genshin by a good margin. Yeah. She's the only one with the smallest one. It's because HSR is more working age game? Yeah, I can see that. Sad for me, though. Does Huohuo count? No, Huohuo does count. She does count. And like Fu Xuan and Sparkle count. But it's... yeah. Yeah, 3B was the first short model in a long ass time. Like, at least I think Genshin has more of the short models. Sparkle is an adult. Being an adult has absolutely nothing to do with whether or not you're a lolly. I don't know why we're even having this conversation. The same thing applies to like Skara and Genshin. Skara and Genshin is a Shota, but he's obviously not like some fucking 5-year-old kid. I mean, you guys need to understand, Sparkle is shorter than like Sunna from ZZZ. Sparkle is shorter than like the average 12-year-old. That doesn't mean people like that don't exist. But on top of that, she has incredibly soft facial features. There's like nothing sharp about her features in the slightest. People call Venti a Shota and know he is old but Sparkle. Yeah, exactly. Like, people are... it has nothing to do with age. It has absolutely nothing to do with age. Saridra isn't lolly? She is. Saridra literally has the exact same model type, and she doesn't have any sharper features than even Sparkle. We can check this right now. So this is Sparkle. Get a good look at the face, right? And then this is Sari. Their features are the exact same. It's just recolored, repaleted. Body type is the same as well. It's the same as Yunli's for all of them. Chubby cheeks. See you later, Regnet. Show Fu Xuan the OG? Sure. Preservation. Fu Xuan. Same applies to Fu Xuan. But yeah, they're the same body type as Yunli, by the way. A lot of people, like, I guess forget this, but if I go over here, there she is. Yunli. Hello. I mean, I understand that, but it doesn't change anything on whether or not they are lollies or not. Like, I had this entire... I made a video around this a while back. Because, what's it called? Kekvin was trying to say that he found, like, lolicons weird. And he found the Angels of Delusion to be the most disgusting thing of all time. And then the character he likes the most is Sparkle, and he got her E6. And it's like, Sparkle has the exact same body model as Yun Li, who I think in the game is canonically like around 12 or 13. So it was like, how are you even going to say this? I think Sparkle might be shorter than Sunna from not HSR, ZZZ. Like, Sparkle is short as shit. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's no point in me having this discussion anymore, which is why I don't talk about it anymore. Right? Like, you will have a ton of people openly say that they've gooned to Venti, and you can't even lie. I'm pretty sure Venti still has, like, the most R34 of any Genshin character in the game's history. You know what I'm saying? But Venti is also Shota, so it's like, you'll always have people who will be like, nah, I'm not like them. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. I'm not like them. And the conversation never goes anywhere. So there's no point in really having it. Really? Yeah. Venti is the most popular character from Genshin in terms of that aspect. Venti's that wind dude? Yeah, he is. The one from like the beginning of the game, Mondstadt.
Do you think we're stupid?
I mean, I used to also think it was like Hu Tao or Mona, but I do think it's Venti. I remember seeing like some like benchmark comparing all the characters, and Venti came out on top. Speaking of, it's not only like, listen, I don't like, sometimes I don't like it when characters get mischaracterized, even in fictional shit. I don't care anywhere near as much as I used to, though. I used to care a lot more. As I grew older, I cared less and less. But Aether is hot as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. Aether, for how serious he is in the Genshin story, and like what he represents and what he's supposed to be, his model just does not match it in the slightest. I can take Kalis 100 times more seriously than I can take Aether. Like, I didn't really think about it much, but then I came across some like art and like videos and shit of Aether just randomly scrolling through Twitter, and it made me realize, like, damn, he looks a lot like a femboy, I'm not gonna lie. He looks a lot like one. Aether in his crop top? Yeah. Why do I have my light on? Let me put it off. It's finally getting bright here. There we go. Even with the new fit, I haven't seen the new fit. Or I think I have seen it, but I just don't remember it. Because I wasn't paying attention to it. But old Aether is definitely hot as shit. Oh yeah, his old model looks really bad. I remember seeing that. HSR is kind of doing the same thing as Genshin, where with like certain skins for characters, they're also updating the model. They did this with Mei. I remember seeing a video someone made showing like the improvements they made to like the shading and shit for Mei with the new skin that she got. But yeah, it's like Genshin has a ton of. I don't know if it's the art style. I don't know if it's maybe just the engine. Genshin has so many like candidates for femboys. It's kind of insane. I've never played another game with as many characters like that in my life. Not that I'm complaining though, by the way. I'm very pleased. I'm very satisfied.
Do you think we're stupid? To everyone watching this stream.
Ready for Silverwolf? Still have to wait. How long? About one patch's worth of time. We're getting there though, yep, we're getting there. It's a design direction, they can clearly create someone like Varka? Yeah. I just wish HSR would make a few, man. Like there still isn't a single limited one in the entire game. Like throw me a bone. Please. Throw me a bone.
Do you think we're stupid?
It would actually be cool if HSR and Genshin collabed. What character would I even want from Genshin? Taking my goon brain aside. I actually don't know. Actually, yeah, Farina. No, we have Saridra, so that'd be less likely. Probably like a Hu Tao. Farina or Hu Tao, I don't know. Personally. That's not even Goon Brain. Those are just some of my favorite characters. Misha's your guy? I like Misha. But Misha's a 4-star and is barely usable without getting carried by Break Dahlia or something. But yeah, I really like Misha.
Do you think we're stupid? To everyone watching this stream.
I mean, Yao Guang is in the best team home press. I mean, maybe not like a year from now or some shit. If that leak is true, which it's heavily STC. But even then, Yao Guang would still be best in slot for like a year. Fischl? You'd want Fischl in HSR? Yeah, that'd be cool. Fischl is 16. I don't think anybody here cares. They probably do on other channels, but here nobody really cares. It'd be hypocritical of me to act like I care. What was the leak about the best team? The best team for Silverwolf is Yao Guang Sparksy. But they indicated a possibility that, what's it called? Yao Guang could get replaced in Silverwolf's team near the end of version 4 when they add more relation characters. They did say Yao Guang would stay best in slot for Eva, but just not for what's it called? Not Sparksy, Silverwolf. Skirk? No, I agree. I'd also go Skirk, actually. That's a good point. Even though Jing Liu is really similar, for some reason, I think Skirk is like 10 times hotter than Jing Liu. And also, Jing Liu's in the fucking grave at this point. I'd take a Skirk from a collab.
Do you think we're stupid? To everyone watching this stream.
Yeah, Miko. I'm glad they at least kept the ears on Sakura, not like Miko. Using a keyboard or a controller? Keyboard. If it was controller, you'd see like different inputs on like the technique and stuff. Hello, Verly. Alright, chat. I'm probably going to end the stream here. I think I've gone on long enough. I do have shit to do, although I don't have to work, which is nice. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night.